Alright, people, we are back for some more Harley Quinn Season 4. This week we've got Episode 5 on Max, and this is an interesting one. Definitely what a cliffhanger this thing ended on, so of course, major spoilers for this episode. Go check it out on Max if you haven't seen already, because some pretty crazy stuff happens. We got a big change for Ivy. Harley, I guess, also goes through a bit of a change, and there's another character that we're not sure of their fate at the end of this episode. But anyway, to get things started, let's talk about Ivy and the Legion of Doom. So actually, first of all, Legion of Doom update. Jim Gordon has come out of retirement and now is security guard for the Legion of Doom. So that's good. I mean, it wasn't really a huge part of the episode, but you know, it happens. He makes his return, and he has a few small scenes here in this episode. So that was cool to see. But Ivy, obviously last episode she was in space, she was at Malcolm, and Lex was pretty not too happy with her after her kind of stealing the spotlight from him. But here he's acting like he's all cool with it and stuff, and he looks to be in terrible condition, which was a little disturbing. But he gifts her his PR team, the Johns. So I'm not really sure what the Johns are. Are they like robots? Like, is that what they are? I'm not completely sure, but they're like, either way, they're really funny. And so I really enjoy their characters, and they're very bossy. Because Ivy, now that she has like full control of the Legion of Doom, she has started to bring in some younger forces, and she has a couple mentees. So we have a new take on Tara, of course, classic Teen Titans character. So she's here, but again, very different take on the character. We also have Volcana and Teffer, which I think that's what their name was. Now the interesting thing about Teffer is they're described as the swampy one, so I'm assuming child of Swamp Thing. But very interestingly, this character has pure white hair. And you know what's referenced here that happened last season was the fact that Swamp Thing and Nora Freeze, Ivy's number one assistant, they hooked up last season, and even Nora references that, and kind of got me thinking, like, wait a second, did I don't know exactly how that would work. Like, maybe it would be some kind of funny explanation as to, like, maybe Swamp Thing got pregnant. Not Nora, no, Swamp Thing got pregnant and gave birth to this child, because, you know, Swamp Thing is like a swamp creature, grew up super fast. I don't know, just a crazy theory, but I just feel like it can't just be a coincidence that this looks exactly like Nora and is the son or daughter, I'm not completely sure, of Swamp Thing. So, yeah, we'll see on that. But yeah, so she starts turning these mentees, and they all have their different plans, and, you know, they're all environmentally eco-friendly and all that stuff. So, you know, going with Ivy's whole plan, her whole vibe for the Legion of Doom. But then the Johns come in and they kind of take over. They're kind of like, oh, Ivy, you can do so much better than this. You have bigger things to be worrying about than just 3 people when you could be worrying about 3 billion people. And so they go on this whole like different thing, get her doing photo shoots and stuff like that. They build a giant statue of her, and you definitely just get to see that kind of this power and this fame is really getting to her head. Like, you look at Ivy a couple seasons ago, she was the complete opposite. She was very laid back, very chill, very much not wanting to be in the spotlight. But now we see in this episode, she is all about that. And that, I don't think, is really a good thing, because again, the power is just going to her head. So that'll probably be a big journey for her this season, is to learn to cope with that, not be so obsessed with that, and look at it from other aspects. You know, focus on and appreciate the small things, like her 3 mentees who apparently went through with their plan and it went completely terrible, as we find out at the end of the episode. So who knows if we'll find out what happened there and how bad it went. But speaking of bad, Harley, of course, you know, continues her journey with the Bat family. And at the beginning of the episode, when they're fighting, obviously the Bat family, Batman, they're known for fighting in the shadows and in the darkness of Gotham City. And Harley, she's having trouble with her night vision. She can't see in the dark. So she goes to get some eye surgery done, some LASIK surgery, and gets her eyes all fixed up. Supergirl was her eye doctor, which was interesting. I didn't expect that. I don't know if I've ever seen Supergirl as an eye doctor before, or if that was a thing in the comics, or if it was just for this show. They just decided, hey, Supergirl can be our eye doctor, because that's what happened here. And so she gets her eyes all checked out, but then things go wrong when suddenly Batgirl goes missing. So we spend the whole episode trying to find Batgirl, and eventually she is tracked up to this cold mountain where the Cold Boys are hanging out. And this is my favorite part of the episode, because the Cold Boys are awesome, because you got Captain Cold, you got Icicle. I'm not sure if it's Icicle Senior or Icicle Junior. And then two other cold-themed villains. One of them, I believe, is the Minister Blizzard. Then again, I'm not completely sure. And the other one was like this almost robotic snowman looking thing. I don't know if that's a character from the comics. If it is, you know who it is. Let me know in the comments below. But I just thought this was such a funny thing, because I mean, that's always something I've thought was really interesting, is like in DC Comics, there are so many cold themed villains. Like there's Captain Cold, there's Mr. Freeze, there's Killer Frost, there's Icicle. And I remember like as a kid, when, I would play with my little Imaginext figures, I would think it would be such a cool idea to have like Captain Cold and Mr. Freeze and Killer Frost teaming up and get Icicle in there and just have like this team up of all these ice villains. And I thought that would just be such a cool thing. So to see that brought to life in this episode is like literally a childhood dream come true for me. So that was awesome. And obviously Mr. Freeze is not here, because Mr. Freeze was killed in season 2, and Killer Frost was not here, just because they're the Cold Boys. So to have a girl there, and especially just to have one girl, like one female super villain that was ice themed, that would be a little odd. So I appreciated the Cold Boys, and I've never heard of this Minister Blizzard before, and I don't know this robot snowman guy. But it was definitely just really cool seeing this moment play out in the episode. So that's what happens. Of course, Harley takes him down. She rescues Batgirl, who actually we come to find out that Batgirl wasn't actually even kidnapped. Babs just, she went to the ammo and guns place, which was actually just a grocery store, and came to hang out with her mom. But then her mom came up here to, well, as the episode is called, getting ice stick, don't wait up, with the ice villains. So good for her. But yeah, so that's about it until we get to this final scene where Babs and Harley are just sitting around the campfire having a good time. And I love, you get this nice, beautiful, cute little moment when Harley is like, oh, look, it's a fawn licking dew off the leaf or something like that. And then suddenly she's like, oh, look, Nightwing came. And she points up to a tree. Nightwing is sitting in a tree, doesn't look very lively, and then suddenly falls out of that tree onto the fire and is looking pretty dead. So I think Nightwing's dead. I don't know how or why, but Nightwing's dead. This was like literally such an unexpected moment in the episode. It was crazy. Like, he's definitely dead for sure. I mean, he looks so dead just sitting in the tree, but then we fell out of the tree. Not only fell out of the tree, but fell on the fire. This man is not alive. Now, I don't know what this means for the future. Like, I'm assuming it's setting up probably like some sort of murder mystery thing. Who killed him? I don't know. And are we going to bring him back to life? I mean, toss him in the Lazarus pit. We got Talia al Ghul having a big role in this season. Maybe the Lazarus pit will come into play. That's a total possibility. But again, very unexpected, but crazy. And I'm excited to see where things go. I feel bad for Nightwing, but we will see. So, anyways, guys, we are halfway through the season here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this crazy cliffhanger ending? Do you think Nightwing is dead? Do you think they'll bring him back to life? And who do you think is his mystery murderer? So, anyways, guys, of course, stay tuned for more weekly episode reviews and breakdowns for Harley Quinn Season 4. And thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.